So in this diagram you can see resistances in parallel. Resistances in parallel, that's what you can see over here. Obviously, you know parallel connection. You can see three resistances. Three resistances are connected in parallel. Parallel connection means it's not one above another. It's not one above another, one below another, or vertical manner. No, it's not. That's not the meaning of parallel connection. Okay? Parallel connection means if you take a resistor, obviously a resistor has two ends. The two ends of the resistor are connected to another two ends of the resistor. That particular end are connected to another particular. You can see a resistor. These are the two ends of resistor R. They are connected to the two ends of resistor R. Resistor R also is connected to the same node. The two ends are connected to the same node. So it's not one above another, or vertical manner, or columns. No, nothing else. In series connection, if you take about three resistors, one end of the resistor is connected to another end of the resistor. The other end of that particular second resistor is connected to the first end of the resistor R3, and total the final two connections, they are not connected to each other. They are not connected to each other. They are connected to the voltage source or some other particular node. This way it's connected to the node or something, but not to each other. Okay? So you have to understand this. You have to understand the meaning of series and parallel resistances. Okay? So many people will be confused. Many people will be confused. Parallel is one above another, one below another. No. That's not the way. You have to see the two particular ends. So that's what we have. Now, here what happens again, this parallel resistance, this is parallel resistance. This is parallel resistance. This parallel resistance is connected to the voltage source. One end is connected to the higher potential, another end is connected to the lower potential. Again, when load, this is generally called as load. When I talk about load, it will become electrical load. Electrical load, it's actually impedance we call. Impedance can be the resistance, capacitance, or inductance. As we are generally dealing with DC, will become only resistance. Okay? So the resistance, this total resistance is connected to the voltage source. Now you should understand that. Now it becomes a closed circuit. In an electrical closed circuit, current flows. So you can see current flows. Now you can see current exactly flows. It should take this path. It takes this path. When it comes to this node, it will find three paths. You should just understand. You should just compare it to the water flow. If a water flows through a pump, that pump at the end of the pump, it's divided into three paths. It's divided into three paths. It can be three pumps or three channels. It's divided. Hence, the water will divide itself. If the channel is very narrow, a little bit of water flows. If the channel length is, or the width is larger, more water flows. You should understand that similar. I'm just trying to give you the general example because I cannot show you how current flows. You can't see how current flows. In every other branch, okay, if mechanical branch is that, they can exactly show while welding, they can exactly show how the welding is done. Maybe not directly, but it is a sparks on the sea. Or finally, exactly they can show. Civil also exactly they can show how exactly cement or I don't know much about civil engineering, but how exactly bricks are kept, how cement is added, how much sand should be added, how much cement, all those things they can literally show you that. Okay, but here I cannot exactly because no one can see electricity. No one can see electricity. Electricity is there obviously, but you can't see electricity. Even if there's a short circuit, or you can see the sparks, but not electricity. Okay, so you have to understand. That's the reason I take general example so that you can get an idea. Hence, three parts are there. So the current will divide itself: I1, I2, and I3, depending on the value of the resistor. Now, current I1 will flow from here to the resistor and come up here. Current I2 will flow from here to this particular place. Current I3 will flow from here. Now, all meet, understand the channels, all they meet the same point. And again, you get another one particular part, and so all the water comes. Same way, current also gets added, and total it comes as I. Total it comes as I. Hence, you can say that I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. You can see this over. First, current got divided into I1 into I3. Again, I1 into I3 when they're added, you get total current I. So you get I is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. Now use Ohm's law. I is equal to, or just write I is equal to I1 is equal to, understand, I1. Now understand, in parallel resistance, current gets divided, but voltage remains the same. This is also voltage V. Here also voltage V. Here also voltage V. Across resistor R1, the voltage is voltage V. Across resistor R2, the voltage is V. Across resistor R3, voltage V. So you have I1 equal to V by R1 plus V by R2 plus V by R. Now V is common, take V outside. 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R. Right. So write I is equal to V into total resistance. Now instead of this, let me take 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. This is what I can write it like this. If there are n number of nodes, so I is equal to V by RT. V by RT. This entire thing can be written as 1 by RT. So V by RT. V by RT. Now understand, if there are n number of resistors, means R1, R2, R3, R4 till Rn. So 1 by RT is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R. This much we have. Total you have I is equal to V by R. Now we will be saying the first rule that I showed you was the voltage divider rule. This is the current divider. So see this resistor, voltage divider rule. This voltage across a particular resistor, so voltage divider rule. Now current divider rule. Let's see the current across resistor R2. Current across resistor R2 is I2 is equal to, let's exactly see this. I2 is equal to V by RT. Let's take this as equation 1. Next, total current I is equal to V by RT. We just now solve this equation 3. Let's divide 2 by 1. Let's see what happens. Actually, it is 1 by 2. The previous one also it was 1 by 2 only. You see that. Previous one also it was 1 by 2, not 2 by 1. So 1 by 2. I2 by I is equal to V by R2 divided by V by R. V and V gets cancelled. V and V gets cancelled. So you have exactly I2 by I is equal to R suffix T divided by R suffix 2. Understand? Numerals effect, right? Sorry, fractions what you see, RT by R1, RT by R2. You can see this goes, the denominator goes to the numerator, the basic mathematics. So hence, therefore, I2 is equal to RT by R2 into total current. Hence, current across resistor 2 is the ratio of total parallel resistance. Understand? Total parallel resistance into or to the resistance across that particular resistor into total current. Or you can say if I write I1 is equal to RT by R1 equal. The current across resistor 1 is the ratio of total resistance to that particular resistor into total current I. That's what it is. That's it. This is the current divider. Voltage divider rule was voltage across a particular resistance is the ratio of value of the particular resistor to the total resistance into total voltage. Current divider rule, when you talk about parallel resistance, parallel connection, parallel exactly connection. Current across a particular resistor is the ratio of the total resistance to that particular resistance into the total current. And understanding, series resistance current remains same, parallel resistance voltage remains same. This is what we have for resistors in series and resistors in parallel. Hope you have understood this. Okay, you see that